Oi oi truckers and trailer huggers, it's your favourite high-vis hero and king of the clutch pedal, Big Jon, back at it again and ready to shift gears into another week of hauling chaos and caffeinated optimism. Welcome back to Truckstop Tales. Well, good morning, you glorious lot. It's a new week. The sun is actually shining, and I don't just mean through a hole in the curtain. The skies are blue, the tarmac's dry, and for once I haven't had to wrestle with wipers on warp speed. The weather is behaving itself, which probably means something else is bound to go wrong. But hey, let's enjoy the calm before the next logistics storm. Today, we've waved goodbye to Felixstowe and we're cruising our way up north towards York with the first of just 6 drops in a quaint little spot called Brig. Sounds like the name of someone who would win Bake Off, not unloading pallets. After that, we're off to Hull and then Selby, and we're finishing up around Leeds. If the planners haven't thrown in a cheeky 7th drop at 4:59 p.m. Now, get this, hold on to your travel mugs. The trailer isn't packed to the rafters for once. There's so much empty space in there, I nearly walked in and done cartwheels. It's the closest I've come to mobile yoga studio in years. I almost rang the office to ask if we were only delivering air today. But before we get too excited about deliveries, let's talk about yesterday's Formula One Grand Prix. What a race. Our lad Lando Norris absolutely smashed it. He was faster than a trucker sprinting to the last bacon bap at a roadside cafe. Overtakes, pit stops, the drama, it had everything. I was on the edge of my seat, well, my bunk. I was munching the pork scratchings like I was at Silverstone myself. Hats off to Lando. The only thing quicker than him yesterday was my reaction when I thought I'd locked my Yorkie bar in the cab. So here we are, sunshine, 6 drops and a smug F1 winner living rent-free in my head. Let's see if today stays smooth or if the universe decides I need character building. Either way, buckle up, because where Big Jon goes, there's always a story worth telling. And remember, whether it's pallets or puns, I will deliver. So see you at the next stop. Let's get this week rolling. Well, folks, gather round your screens and grab a cuppa, because miracles of miracles, we've finally managed to finish all the drops. That's right, 6 drops down, 0 forklifts lost, and only a moment where I seriously considered yeeting the paperwork out the window. That's what I call progress. Now, we're officially pointing the cab back towards the holy land that is Felixstowe. Not for fish and chips, sadly, but to get reloaded and ready for tomorrow's next delightful episode of Let's See What the Planners Cooked Up This Time. But of course, it wouldn't be trucking without a good old logistical cliffhanger, would it? The sat-nav, in its usual tone of smug indifference, says we've got 3.5 hours left on this journey. Lovely. But my tachograph, The soul-destroying overlord of legality is laughing in my face and saying, "Big Jon, you've only got 3 hours 15 minutes left of driving time. Good luck, mate." So, here we are, caught in a game of high-stakes roulette between man, machine and motorways. Can we beat the clock? Can we slip through traffic like a greased-up pallet on a slope? Or will we be spending the night in some random lay-by with nothing but a dry pork pie and a view of someone's broken fence for company? I'm praying for green lights, sympathetic roundabouts and no tractors. Honestly, if Macy Ferguson pulls out in front of me today, I might just scream into the curtain. And of course, there's always that chance we get stuck behind someone doing 38 miles per hour in a 60, blissfully unaware that I'm behind them, slowly aging into a fossil. If we do make it, brilliant. If not, who knows where we'll end up tonight. Maybe a lovely truck stop with a surprise curry night, or maybe that spooky gravel patch where the wild geese stare at you like they know your secrets. Either way, you'll be along for the ride, so buckle up, wish me luck, and let's see if Big Jon can cheat the tachograph gods just this once. Well, luck clearly took the night off, didn't it? After all the tactical overtaking, strategic roundabout rolling, and pleading with traffic lights like they owed me money, we still didn't make it. The tachograph said nope, and that was that. So here we are, parked in yet another glorious lay-by, just 20 minutes away from base. I repeat, 20 minutes! I could practically smell the yard from here. I could have walked the last bit quicker, might have even beaten the truck back if I'd strapped a pallet to a skateboard. But alas, trucking law is trucking law, and that tachograph has about as much mercy as a broken microwave at a truck stop cafe. So, here we go. The new plan is this. First thing in the morning, we roll back into Felixstowe like the conquering hero I clearly am. Grab our reload, and then we're off to the glittering neon lights and futuristic roundabouts of Milton Keynes. Yes, the concrete capital of confusion, the place where the roads look like spaghetti and the sat-nav usually just gives up and starts crying. I'm praying for a smoother day tomorrow, one without delays, laybys or emotional damage from roundabout number 83. Just a nice, straightforward run, a proper place to park, and maybe, just maybe, a hot meal that doesn't come in a wrapper that says best before 2022. So, keep watching my lorry-loving legends and join me bright and early to see if we can get reloaded without chaos, rerouted without drama, and if Milton Keynes lets me in without a sat-nav breakdown. This is Big Jon, signing off for the night from that lay-by that dreams forgot. See you in the morning. Let's hope it's a better one. Good morning, guys and girls. Big Jon here, back behind the wheel and wondering if the universe is playing a very elaborate prank on me. Welcome to another day of chaos, caffeine and questionable clutch control on Truckstop Tales. Well, we're back on the road after a beautifully short 9-hour break. You know, just enough time to blink, stretch and question all your life choices. And what better way to start the day than with a 45-minute standstill on the Orwell Bridge. Ipswich clearly decided to throw us a good old traffic-themed welcome party. No cake, just brake lights, and just when I thought the day couldn't get more exciting, I get a call from the office planners. The original schedule, scrapped. Like last week's lasagna in the truck fridge. Now it's one solitary collection in Felixstowe, then a gentle, trundle down to the docks and back to the yard to reload for tomorrow's magical mystery tour. Honestly, I think my sat-nav is starting to develop trust issues. So I finally get over the bridge and I'm feeling good. Even had a proper roar down the A14, full turbo, full hopes. And then boom! Reality hits, 7 miles from base, gridlocked, full stop. We're talking parking lot vibes. I was sat there for nearly an hour and I'd moved less than my will to live. Honestly, I could have walked the load back to the yard faster, probably with a Greggs in hand. Anyway, stay tuned. Who knows what other surprises today's got in store? Aliens, roadworks with interpretive dance, a random donkey in lane 2. With my luck, anything's possible. Catch you in a bit. Big Jon out for now. Right then, Trucker Tribe, the saga continues. After finally crawling our way back to the yard in Felixstowe, and I mean crawling, I've seen snails on holiday move faster. Well, I thought sod it, I'm going home for a proper scrub. I'd spent the night in a lay-by that was so grim, I'm convinced the rats were trying to move out. So, after a power shower that nearly took the top layer of skin off and a quick cuppa at home, I was feeling almost human again. Back at the yard, the trailer got loaded up, pretty sharpish. I say sharpish in the loosest possible sense. And now here we are again, me and this overworked beast of a truck thundering back up the A14. Where to this time? None other than the glamorous, the scenic, the mildly confusing roundabouts of Leeds. No drops on the cards for today, hallelujah. But don't celebrate too soon, because tomorrow's lined up with 6 lovely little drops, just waiting to test my patience, my parking skills, and probably my spine. For now though, we're aiming for the Leeds Bradford Truckstop. Gonna park up, stretch the old legs and give this place the full Truckstop Tales review treatment. Fingers crossed it's not another toilet of doom situation like last week. With a bit of luck, tonight's rest will be peaceful, uneventful and ideally without any random alarms, dodgy parking neighbours or foxes trying to nick my supper again. So stay tuned. Hit that like button and don't forget, tomorrow it's drops galore and chaos on wheels. Big Jon out for now, but not done yet. Well guys, we've finally made it to the land of puddings and proper Yorkshire grit. We've just rolled in to Leeds Bradford Truckstop, and let me tell you, this little gem has a lot more going for it than just being halfway up a hill and down the back of an industrial estate. Now, it's not the biggest truck stop out there. It's not exactly Wembley for wagons, but it still fits around 25 trucks, and that's plenty enough for a decent night's kip without someone parking an inch from your wing mirror. Included in the parking fee, you get a £3 food discount. And here's the best bit, the food's actually worth eating. Used to be a free meal, but of course, some drivers ruin that. Ordering food they didn't want just because it was free. Probably the same ones who steal all the teaspoons and leave wet socks on the dash. Now, it's a maximum of £3 for your grub, and to be honest, it's still a bargain. Oh, and unlike some spots, the food here is just for us overnight truckers. No randomers wandering in for chips and clogging up the queue. Now that's how you keep it trucker friendly. So anyway, it's about time we got in to the Truckstop Tales review. Food, absolutely spot on. Cooked fresh to order, piping hot, and even delivered to your cab. Now that's trucking luxury. The burger was banging. The chips were golden, and I only paid £3. That's less than a Costa coffee and way more satisfying. For this, I'm going to award them an 8 out of 10. The facilities. Well, toilets and showers, big, clean, and here's the best part, private. None of that awkward shuffling past 5 other blokes brushing their teeth while you try to zip up your wash bag. Free tea and coffee on tap, and a cheeky free biscuit too, because nothing says welcome like a hobnob. For this, definitely got to be a 10 out of 10. Cleanliness. Well, this place is absolutely spotless. Even the dusty bits in the parking area look like they've been swept into neat little piles. Sure, there's a bit of loose concrete dust that kicks up in the wind, but hey, it's Yorkshire. If the weather doesn't throw you a curveball, are you even north of Watford? For this, I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. Parking, dead easy to find, and they actually direct you where to go based on what time you're leaving. No more guessing games or waking up boxed in by an Arctic from Aberdeen. 60% of the parking area is solid concrete. 40% is the crunchy stuff, which turns into a mud bath when it rains. But we'll live with it. For this, I'll give them a score of 8 out of 10. Security. Now this is where Leeds Bradford really pulls its socks up. Fully fenced, CCTV everywhere, 24/7 staff in the office, and the whole site gets locked up tighter than a drum at 9 p.m. You can sleep like a baby, or at least like a trucker who hasn't had to worry about someone trying to siphon their diesel. Definitely a 10 out of 10 for me. That gives Leeds Bradford a final score of 45 out of 50. A proper cracking result. Leeds Bradford might be small, but it's mighty clean, secure, decent food, and a proper bit of northern hospitality thrown in. And that wraps up another edition of Truckstop Tales. It's a new day tomorrow, and no doubt another round of 6-drop bingo, questionable roundabouts, and shouting at the sat-nav. But before you go, do us a favour, smash that like button, give that subscribe button a little cuddle, and ring the bell, like it's the last one before tea break. Thanks for riding along with me, Big Jon, and until next time, keep the wheels turning and the banter burning. Big Jon out.